Hi, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Barnabas Sons of Thunder. Valentine's Day is upon us, and it is met with mixed emotions. Some of us love it, some of us hate it. One thing's for sure, we all have to get through it together. So thanks for tuning in this week as your hosts, J.E. Bundy and Rhett Ritchie, discuss what it all means. This is Barnabas.
All right, everybody.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Barnabas Sons of Thunder. Here we are, episode 2,
number 2.
Yep, ready to get it going. We really do appreciate you coming back and spending a little bit of time with us this week.
This is a special week.
Yeah, this is a very special week. So this is Valentine's week, and I don't know exactly what day of the week it's going to fall on, but I know that sometime this week is the day that romantics all over the world look forward to all year long. So Valentine's Day. I guess it's a good day for some people, a really terrible day for some other people.
You want to know what my favorite day of the year is?
Christmas.
February 15th, because all us single people get to go buy the unsold Valentine's Day candy.
Oh yeah? I thought maybe you were just gonna go buy yourself some flowers.
I'm not gonna buy myself flowers. I do buy like the Ferrero Rocher.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's the little balls.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No free ads.
Yeah.
But we're not going to charge you for that one. That one was bad.
I don't know how to pronounce it either, but yeah. So
those are like, one of my favorites also, and I've made a game out of this.
Yeah.
It's when you get that box of chocolates.
Yeah.
We call it chocolate roulette, and you just have to pick one and eat it.
Yeah.
Because I buy like the assorted flavors with like the broccoli in the middle and like the just gross flavors that, not broccoli, but like that don't belong inside chocolate.
Yeah.
There's one that's so bad.
Is it like the Bernie Bott's every flavor beans but chocolate version?
Yes, where every single one's just something different.
I've never even heard of that. That's disgusting. Did you know this? I found this out, unfortunately, the hard way, that on Valentine's Day and on Mother's Day, flower stores double their prices.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
You didn't know that?
Well, I didn't know it until we got married on May the 10th. My anniversary is May the 10th.
May the 10th be with you.
Yeah, so if you want to send me an anniversary present, May the 10th is the day to do that. But we had to book a florist for our wedding, obviously. And because it was the same weekend as Mother's Day, all of our flowers were twice as expensive, even though we weren't buying them for Mother's Day. It was just Mother's Day pricing. And so I just thought that was crazy that a store actually, that they get away with it. That we let them get away with it by still paying those prices, even though we know they are gouging us. So,
just a way to keep the man down.
I know, it's crazy. But
I feel like other stuff. So I used to have friends who worked in fast food, and they would talk all the time about busiest day of the year, Mother's Day.
Oh yeah? Like even fast food, like McDonald's, stuff like that? People are going out?
You're asking a lot. No, but like they worked at an Italian food restaurant, and every single person on staff would always have to work that day.
Yeah.
Just because it was going to be crazy. Like there was just going to be a ton of people there.
Yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, it brings out a little bit of crazy in all of us. I think this time of year, whenever we are so focused on the romance and the love and relationships and stuff like that, it really does. You know, people who are in relationships, it makes them go crazy thinking like, what am I going to get my significant other? What am I going to do to show them I love them? It's special. Yeah, and there's a level of expectation in terms of a certain dollar amount, you know, and that's different for different people, that we're going to spend this much money on a gift and on a date and all that stuff. And then I think for single people too, it brings out a level of craziness of the focus on, am I going to have a date? Am I going to have someone for Valentine's Day? Am I going to be alone on Valentine's Day? And so it's crazy that this one day of the year just turns everyone upside down.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It's also crazy that like some people have like Valentine's Day sales. It's like, you can buy this new oven. It's like, why would you buy an oven on Valentine's Day?
I don't know if I've seen those things, but it doesn't surprise me. Any chance you can to capitalize on people's ridiculousness, I am not surprised that companies are taking advantage
For
of that.
Valentine's Day, I bought you this new cookware set.
Yeah. For some people, I'm sure that's a great gift, though.
Yeah, I was about to say. 'Cause
I'm sure some people
I don't
would love
even-
to get a new oven.
I don't even have knives in my kitchen. So
You don't have knives?
No, they're butter knives, and then I have a paring knife.
Yeah.
I got free from Sam's one time because I watched them do the thing, and they gave me a paring knife
So how do you cook food?
with a paring knife.
That's it. So anything bigger than that, you just have to eat it whole.
Well, I just gotta take long. I have a few really old steak knives that are almost just like butter knives.
Yeah, that's funny. That brings me back to my bachelor days, and just every once in a while, I forget how good my wife is, and so like and
That's a really funny way to say that.
well, I mean, I think everyone sometimes like takes the good things in their life for granted and stuff like that, but. And this is not a knock to you specifically as a bachelor, but there's friends that I have had that have been bachelor, and I go over to their house, and it's just like, oh man, I am glad I am married because
Yeah.
I don't have to live like this. And it's not the being alone. It's sometimes a bachelor is a sloppy person, and that's how I was. And so before I got married, I was a slob. Whenever I was so here's some gross stories I'll tell you. Whenever I was in college. I washed my sheets one time a year. And so I don't know apparently that's not normal. People wash their sheets more often than that, but I washed it whenever I went home for Christmas break, and I let my mom wash my sheets. And that was the only time I ever washed my sheets the whole time I was in college, is whenever I went home for Christmas break. And the dorm room that I lived in college, probably, I had about a 5-foot pile of dirty clothes, and I would literally go until I had 0 clothes left, except for the clothes on my body, and then I would say, oh, I guess I need to do laundry. And so I was a filthy, disgusting slob.
That's actually gross. Like that I thought that story was gonna be funny.
Yeah.
I'm a little repulsed.
One time my room was so messy, I lost all of my school books. And I looked for them for weeks and could not find them, and I actually had to go to the bookstore and buy all new textbooks. So I had to spend $400 on textbooks because I could not find my books in my room. That's how disgusting my room was.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot to take in. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And, like, normally I'm somewhat prepared.
Yeah.
That's, like, you're making me, like, because I'm a pretty clean person. Like, that's making me just, like, jitter.
Oh, I know. Well, and like I said, if I never got married, I would still be living like that. And so that's why I say I forget how amazing my wife is, because she has made me a much better person than I was on my own. And so
we have something special, because I don't want to talk about your filth ever again.
Well, I've got a lot more stories, so
No.
we'll get back to it eventually. Maybe not this episode, but we'll come back.
So we have someone behind the camera right now, Miss Katie K. We want to go through the top 5 love ballads of all time.
Yeah.
Just so y'all are aware, so you can hear our thoughts about these songs.
Yeah, and I'm sure we don't know what the list is. We
No.
haven't looked at it. We had Katie pull it up off camera, and so she's going to tell us what the top 5 songs are, and we'll see if we're surprised by them. But I'm sure these songs are playing on the radio almost nonstop right now, since this is Valentine's week.
Yeah.
So you're probably familiar with these songs, but all right, Katie, what is the number 5 love song of all time?
Number 5 is "Cherished" by The Association.
Cherished by The Association. Do you know that one?
No.
I didn't think so.
So, give us a little. Give
So
us
that's
a few notes.
you'd know it if I. So it's "Cherish the Thought." You've never heard that song?
No.
It's an 80s song, so I figured as soon as she said "Cherish," I knew what she was talking about, but I knew you would
This
not
song
know
is
what it is.
receiving 2 thumbs down for me. Not a great love.
Well, I would agree with that, just because it was written in the 1980s, and most music from the 1980s gets 2 thumbs down. So, all right, what's the next one?
The next one is "I Want to Hold Your Hand" by the Beatles.
Oh,
yeah, that's a good one.
that's a great song.
You can't hate the Beatles, so yeah.
And that's just like a.
Yeah, you know what's interesting to me too is I think about this with music from yesteryear, oldies and stuff like that. Like, that song was so popular, and it's "I Want to Hold Your Hand," and then think about the music that comes out today. Just the difference in what people were singing about in terms of relationships and stuff like that, and like how clean and wholesome things were. And I'm sure that that's not really how life was, but that's what music was back then.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that society has gotten any worse. I just think we've become a little bit more open about the way that we
I was
the way
about
that
to
we
say
live.
the Beatles with the
So-
Yellow Submarine and some other stuff. I don't know about.
Well, that's open for interpretation, I guess. But but so anyways, I just think that's funny. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I listen to a lot of Buddy Holly too, and well, there's this one line every time I think. What is it? He says something like "hot dog" in his song, and I'm like, could you imagine a popular artist saying the word "hot dog" in their song and being taken seriously? But he was like the best.
But what aggravates me is I think hot dogs don't get a good rap.
Well,
This is a completely different thing. I love a good hot dog.
Oh yeah, hot dogs are good.
But I feel like people are like, oh, now that there was that one whatever, and it showed how hot dogs are made, like, I'm never gonna eat them again. I feel like they're not near as prevalent as they were.
Oh, I disagree. I think you can find a hot dog anytime.
You can, but I just don't see as many people walking around with a walk around the city square, the hot dog in their hand as they used to. You know?
Yeah. So, anyways, back to the songs. What's the next song, Katie?
Number 3 is Unforgettable by Nat King Cole with Natalie Cole.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Have you heard that one? See, you're
I
so
could
young. You're not.
stand just to hear you.
No, that's Aerosmith.
Oh yeah, that's a great song.
I doubt that song's gonna be on this list.
Yeah.
So because I don't think that's a great song. But that one.
But it's on Batman, so.
So here, tell me the title of that song again, Katie. What is it?
Unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Yeah. So you know that song. Unforgettable. That's the only word I know. But
Here, let me sing it for you.
but I
Here's the
remember.
one word I know.
Yeah, in the 90s, so Nat King Cole passed away, and then his daughter Natalie Cole recorded a duet with his recording of that song, and it was very popular in the 90s.
Oh, okay. This is not a great list for me.
Yeah, right. Your lack of experience in life experience is showing. So,
Okay.
but all right, next song,
Alright, number 2 is I Will Always Love You by Whitney Hudson.
Whitney Houston.
Houston.
There you go, Whitney Houston.
And I will always love you.
Don't touch me. I
Will always love you.
I think that when you watch this back, you're gonna regret that moment.
That's a great song, though. I don't know what I actually sound like right now. I've got a little bit of congestion.
Yeah, I mean, you sound like normal, which is
Good.
Yeah, but that's a song that's funny because I remember hearing that song. That's one of the first times I had my mind blown at the idea of a remake. Because I remember Whitney Houston came out with that song, and like it was all over. That was from the movie The Bodyguard, and so it was all over the MTV. Back when they still played music on MTV, and it was on the radio. And then I found out that was a remake from a Dolly Parton song, and I was like, oh wow, that's crazy. And
That's not her song?
No, yeah, that's a remake. Dolly
Oh.
Parton wrote that song.
Does she sing the same?
Mhm.
Like, is it very, very similar?
It's the exact same song, but with Dolly Parton's
Does she
voice.
hold those long notes out, though?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll
That's
play
great.
it for you later.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but all right, next song.
What number was that?
No, that was number 2, so we're on the best one.
All right, so this is number 1. What's the best love song of all time?
If I know it, I'm going to sing it.
Okay. It's At Last by Etta James.
At
Yeah.
last, my love
It's come to call.
It's come to call.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know the words. I just
So,
know At Last.
Yeah, but that's good that you actually know a song that was written before you were born. So,
Yeah, I know lots of them.
Good job, Brett.
I know lots of songs.
Yeah.
Like the Ping Pong song by Enrique Iglesias.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, it's a great song.
The ping pong song?
Yeah, it's a. Do you know what it feels like loving someone?
I don't know if I've heard it or if you're just not doing it justice, but
Probably a little bit, but probably a little bit of that.
so anyway, so yeah, it's fun to listen to those songs, and I'll definitely have to play not the Whitney Houston version, the Dolly Parton version of that song later, but I just again just this time of year is kind of crazy whenever we're all thinking about it's just the romantic thing, and hearts everywhere, and love and relationships and all those things. And like I'm married and have been for the last, how long? 16 years. I had to think about it for a second. And so I've been in a relationship at least that long, but there have been other relationships in my life that have not gone as well as this current relationship.
Yeah.
And so, and when I say this current, that sounds like there may be another one. There's not going to be another one, but I've had my share of disappointments and heartaches and stuff like that. And I think that when we sit here and we talk about the good parts of the relationships, I think it's important to also think about the times where things haven't gone so well. So, have you ever had a relationship not go well, Rat? Spoiler: he has.
One or two.
One or two, yeah.
Maybe a few more than that. I'm reminded of this is, I don't even know that you know this story.
Oh yeah.
So I've always been a little bit of like a hopeless romantic.
Yeah.
Until I don't like someone, then I just run away. But so hopeless romantic real early, then pull away. It's kind of like I once made a huge piece of plywood, a full sheet. I turned into a card and I gave to somebody. It was the biggest card I've ever given, and it had a bunch of stuff written on the inside. It looked real nice. But there was this one girl.
This is in high school, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was this one girl who I had the biggest crush on.
Yeah.
And we were friends, and like, she would text me and like ask me to hang out and stuff, and I was like, I didn't really know how to differentiate kind of what was going on, so I was like, I've gotten in here. And so I saw an opportunity, and then I took it. There was a dance coming up that just so happened, this is very regrettable to say this next line out loud. There's a dance coming up that I wanted to go with her to. However, it was
I think I do know the story, but keep going.
However, it was a Sadie Hawkins dance.
Oh yeah.
So I made her ask me.
You made her ask you?
It's like, so are you going to ask somebody? Well, you can ask me. You should ask me type stuff. Did
it work?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I feel very uncomfortable in this right now.
Yeah.
And so we end up going.
I'll say this. If you don't put it out there that you want something, you're probably never going to get it. So kudos to you for letting your feelings show.
Yeah.
So.
I shot my shot. Well, my feelings are about to show significantly more than that point.
Okay.
So
this is not the story I thought it was going to be.
No.
By the way,
this girl, I really liked her, and I knew I needed to make a move.
Yeah.
I knew I needed to really let her know I liked her. And so I went real big to go out to this dance with her. So I knew I was going to go pick her up, then we were going to go over to some of her friends' house to eat. Mm-hmm. So it's like right off the gate, I got to do something big. So I filled my whole truck up with balloons.
Like the bed of your truck?
No.
The inside?
The inside of my truck. Regrettable decision.
Yeah.
Very hard to drive. Every time you opened the door, you were pushing them back in.
Yeah.
Not as like cute as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But, oh well, she laughed. I was like, okay, I got a little laugh out of that. That's cool. If I can get a planned laugh, I'm going to go for it.
Yeah.
So we go to this place where all of her friends are eating. And apparently, because I didn't go to that school and my parents didn't know the rest of their parents.
Yeah.
I was the only one who didn't get food. Like, they just didn't have food for me.
You couldn't order your own food?
We were at someone's house.
Oh, okay. I thought you were at a restaurant, you said.
Yeah, we were at someone's house.
Okay.
And they're just like, oh, he doesn't get to eat. It's like, okay. So we I think we even went to McDonald's after that. I was like, look, I'm starving. So we go to this dance, and like I'm like, all right, I've really got to show her I'm interested without saying it, because that's humiliating.
Mm-hmm.
So I've really got to show her I'm interested. Really got to show her that I'm wanting this.
Yeah.
So I try. We dance like to one song the whole night, and it's just real awkward. And in high school at a dance there was drama, and it wasn't between us. Like one of her friends was crying because her sister said something mean to her or something. It's like, it's a crazy world we live in.
Man, I don't want to interrupt your story, but I was just gonna say I never went to dances or anything like that all the way through junior high, high school. I never even went to my prom. and hearing stories like that makes me feel like I made a really good decision.
You did. So it really was her friend's sister said something mean to her or something.
Yeah.
And so we ended up, you know what? Let's just get out of here. Let's go. So it's just me and her. We're on our way to drop her off. So one way that you really let a girl know you're interested in her is to attempt to kiss her.
And so you did this?
Oh. You're jumping pretty far ahead here. So I was like, I just want her to know, and like it really was as innocent as I just want her to know I like her.
Yeah.
Like that's really the purest form, like what was going on. But I couldn't just like try to kiss her. I had to set something up.
Yeah.
And so this was a Christmas dance. So in my sunglass thing, right up above my rear view mirror and whatnot,
Yeah.
I rigged it to where when I pressed it, mistletoe dropped down.
Yeah. Smooth.
And so, very nonchalant. Yeah. So, I'm embarrassed.
I think you should be, but continue.
It gets so much worse. So, I'm sorry. We pull up, and as she's getting out, it was like, I was like, oh, hey, one last thing, because there's no natural transition for that. There's no like, hey. So I pop it down. She looks at it. She goes, and just stares at me. She goes, that's cute. I'll see ya. And then shut the door. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
I was like I just froze. I was like, what in the world do I do? That she knew I was making. This wasn't like, oh, that's cute that there's mistletoe. She's like, oh, that's cute. You thought I was gonna kiss you.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay.
See, I think a better approach is to just never let your desires be known, because then you can never feel rejection. That's the approach that I took all the way through junior high and high school. It saved me a lot of heartache, but it also made me very lonely. So, I've had my share of failed relationships too. I remember whenever I was at summer camp, way back when. So
When's way back when?
oh, I must have been
80s, 90s.
8th grade, 9th grade. No, it was in the 90s. 8th grade, 9th grade, somewhere around there. I went to this camp. And I was afraid of girls, like all the way until I got to college. Like I never really dated much. I did have a few dates, a few girlfriends, but for the most part I was just kind of terrified. And so I remember I went to camp, and there was this girl that like you do tells your friend, or tells our friend, hey, I think that boy's cute. Go see if he likes me. And so her friend came up to me and said, hey, this girl thinks you're cute. Do you want to go out with her? And I was like, we're at camp. I didn't even know what that meant to go out with someone at camp or anything like that. But I was like, sure, this might be my only shot.
Why yes, thank you.
And that's exactly. I was just so appreciative of the attention that, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess so. But I had never had a girlfriend. I didn't know how to do anything. I had never even talked to this girl before this conversation.
You were that much of a looker. You must have been really cute.
I was pretty handsome. But
what was the backside of your hand though, Mike?
It's presenting. That's how the spokesmodels do it. But like I said, I had never talked to this girl. I didn't know who she was until this conversation, and so I was like, okay, I guess we're going out now. And so I would seek her out, and I would sit next to her, but I never said a single word. Like I didn't know what to say, and so I would just sit next to her, and I sat next to her in the cafeteria at lunchtime. Sat next to her whenever we were watching sports and doing all these things. Never said a single word, and so. After one day of that, she sent her friend to tell me, oh, y'all aren't going out anymore. She said you were too quiet. And so my first relationship began and was over as suddenly as it began. So
you never said a word.
I never said a single word.
Did you say a word to her friend? Well, like, what was that conversation like when she came to say my friend's breaking up with you?
I don't know. I was probably afraid to talk to her.
Right,
And so,
oh, okay.
probably. It was something along those lines. And so,
no worries.
Yeah. I think I've learned a lot in terms of relationships ever since then. So.
Yeah. Well, this is that kind of crazy time of year, and this is the time where love's all about. And we want to lift you up, and we want to give you something to laugh at, but we always want to leave you with something. I think mine's going to be kind of opposite maybe than where you're going is, let's self-love.
Yeah.
If you're always afraid of getting hurt, if you're always afraid of what rejection may feel like, rejection is a small price to pay when you finally get to find love, not just in a romantic relationship, but with anybody.
Yeah.
I think it's a very small price. Go love somebody.
Yeah, love is risk, and so you got to take a chance and be vulnerable and open yourself up to actually be known. You can't be loved if you're not known, and so you gotta let people know you, and you got to get to know other people. And my thing that I think is my takeaway from all this crazy time is, it doesn't really matter. Like this desire, this societal pressure to be in a romantic relationship. I mean, it's good and it's awesome. And I'm not saying that don't be in a relationship, but that's not the end all be all of existence. And if you're alone right now, if you're single, find the beauty in that. Find the power in singleness. Like, there's so much freedom. Like, I mean, I love being married, but there's times where because I'm married, I don't have the freedom that you might have to just get up and go and take a trip or do whatever you want to do.
Every week to record this.
That's right. And so there's some benefits of being single, and so enjoy those things and savor those moments and really use that as a chance to really find out for sure who you are. You know, solidify that core self inside yourself, and the stronger you can make yourself, the better you can make yourself during those times. The more you have to show someone later on, and so there's nothing wrong with being single, and so don't feel like if you're single that you're a failure in any way or that there's something wrong with you. It's a perfectly healthy way to be.
So go love somebody. Go love yourself. Hey, we appreciate it. Let us know what you have, any thoughts you may have in the comments below.
Yeah.
We love you for Valentine's Day. We love you.
We do love you.
This has been Barnabas, episode number 2.
Thanks for tuning in. See you later.
See you next week.
Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Barnabas, Sons of Thunder. We really hope that you found this episode entertaining and encouraging. We really do appreciate all of you who decided to tune in and spend a few minutes with us. If you'd like more, you can find us on YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify.